Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and I have a diamond in the rough for you guys to meet today. His name is Isaiah Wooden. He is a wide receiver out of Southern Utah. Nice to have you on, sir.
Nice to be on.
So, if people don't know you, they really need to know you during this draft season because we're looking at a very explosive guy, a highly athletic guy who absolutely dominated his pro day. I'm sure if you've seen his name before, you've also seen him do some things on social media with some insane box jumps or other things going on. But dude's got an amazing vertical, amazing athlete. So let's get a chance to meet this guy. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, how you guys doing? Isaiah Wooden Sr. I'm from San Diego, California. I played at Southern Utah University. Last 2 years have been great. Just love football, obsessed with it, and just ready to go to the next level and showcase my talents.
Yeah, this last year you were a first team all conference player. But dude, you've had a bit of a journey if we're being real. I mean, you come out of Helix High School in the San Diego area. And then from there, you end up going to what was then Dixie State, which is now Utah Tech. And then from there to Kent State, and then ultimately found your way to Southern Utah, where you really shined these past two seasons. So, walk us through a little bit of this. Let's start first back at your high school days, because I know it's been a while. Also, I have in my notes you were a basketball player. Talk about what it was like to be, a student athlete way back in high school.
Oh man, it was the best. It's a time that I would never forget. I always reminisce on it. It was fun, especially going to Helix High School in La Mesa, California. You have people that went there, as far as Reggie Bush, and a lot of other people, Alex Smith, and it was just nice to be around that atmosphere. And you seen how things were done, and they got us ready for college too. So it was it was a plus in everything going to Helix High School.
So those guys come and visit. Is that what you were saying?
Oh yeah, they come and visit for sure. They come to games. Actually, when I was in high school, we played my senior year. Reggie Bush came to our, I believe it was state playoff game. So he was there hyping us up in the locker room, like, "Come on, guys, let's go!" And like, we got it done. So
That's wild, man. I think a lot of people once upon a time might have been huge Reggie Bush fans. It was a lot of fun watching him. I think I've had a whole lot of fun using him in the NCAA football game, man. Like I think I ended up being able to run like 400 yards in a game. It was crazy. Yeah, well, that's kind of the way he was, man. Like he was just so dynamic. Which obviously guys like him, you know, a lot of people aspire to be. So you growing up there in the San Diego area, I'm assuming he's probably one of the guys who you had to look up to, right?
oh yeah, I looked up to Reggie Bush ever since I was a kid. Like I played running back my whole life, so I tried to emulate every little thing that he did, and I took that with me the older that I got. So yeah.
So you said you were playing running back, but again, I introduced you as a wide receiver. So um, talk about, I guess, the change and how you ultimately are now known as a wide receiver.
Yeah, so it all started when I was younger. I started as a running back. Then when I got to high school, they decided to move me to wide receiver and do kick return and punt return and stuff like that. So it was a bit new, but I still had the same uh, mechanics and mechanisms of catching the ball and getting vertical and like trying to break through tackles as a running back. So I'm pretty sure that's what made my game the way it is today.
I mean, get him in space, give him the ball, and just let him work. I think that's kind of the way it is for you. I mean, and again, really good return specialist. Definitely have to have a guy like you look into you, of course, and watch you work, man, because you do a good job. So, again, let's continue to walk through this journey because, dude, it's a little bit crazy journey. So, like, you were at Utah Tech. And then obviously you had to move along from that too. I mean, I want to say you go from there to Kent State, and you actually had to sit out a season because you transferred. So walk me through that journey if you don't mind.
Yeah, so at Dixie State, formerly known as Utah Tech now, I played there 1 year, did good, got, all team awards and stuff like that. And then unfortunately at the end of the season, our coaching staff got fired. So that led to making the decision of hitting the transfer portal and going to another school. and I ended up getting, in contact with somebody from Kent State, and I went to Kent State, and I think it was about August time, so when camp was about to start, and then I got the news that I had to sit, so I'm like, oh man, so I sat out that year, but I mean, it was all for the best, and came back the next year and just played through COVID, and yeah.
Yeah, a bit wild. I mean, Utah Tech's been an interesting school actually because at the time they were D2. Now they're in the FCS and actually doing fairly well. I mean, they've got some talented players. But obviously at the time, like you said, new coaching staff had to move on. Felt like obviously you had the goods to go D1, which I believe you do, and of course you went to Kent State, had to sit, which dude sucks. You sat out 2019 and then boom, the pandemic happens. And then
Yeah.
like, we don't even know what the hell's happening, but like, you did get an opportunity to play in a few games there, but ultimately redshirted. Um, anything else about that time there that, sticks out?
Yeah, I mean, being at Kent State, it helped me grow up as a man. Being there with my strength and conditioning coaches, like I love them. Coach Sobel, they're at San Diego State now, but Coach Sobel, he pushed me like every single day. When I came in there, I learned the true, definition of how to work, and I'm forever appreciative of that because once I left Kent State, I understood how to carry myself as a man, not just a football player.
Gotcha. And then of course, from Kent State, you end up transferring to Southern Utah. Um, so few different schools here, so a lot going on. So go ahead and share exactly how that transition happened.
Yeah, so that transition it led from a lot being at Kent State. I always knew that I wanted to play in NFL, and I knew that there was a time limit on it. So, I was like, I need to be at a place where I'm going to be able to actually showcase my talents to be able to get in front of NFL scouts. So, yeah, I did make the tough decision to hit the transfer portal, and I came back home for a little bit, worked at SeaWorld for about 4 months until I got the call to go to Southern Utah, and then got the call, went to Southern Utah. And, the rest is history. So.
Interesting. We'll have to circle back around to you working at SeaWorld. I think that's a fun little story. But again, major way there to Southern Utah, where I believe that that's really where you shine the most because you were given opportunities to do things either on special teams or out there as a receiver. So describe yourself a little bit as an athlete for maybe those that have yet to see you.
Yeah, so I'm an all around player. I can do whatever you need. Wherever that you need me on the field, I can play running back, wide receiver. They have me throwing sometimes, running down on kickoff. I could do that, catching punts, catching kick returns. I'm just all around. Wherever the coach needs me, I could, play that position to the best of my ability and get the job done.
Gotcha. So, again, to me, I find it very interesting because you're kind of getting really more than one player. When we're looking at a guy like you, because I mean, lots happening in the league lately with the whole kickoff rule being adapted because we really want to keep that as part of the game. So, I mean, uh, hey, it's very important to have a guy who can take it to the house when you need him to, or at least set up some momentum for the offense. So you're getting obviously that. And then, of course, you're getting a guy who I feel like a lot of people are kind of projecting you to maybe be like a slot guy, mainly kind of based on your size. So is that an accurate statement or have you been able to, I guess, be used in other facets?
I've been able to be using different facets, different positions and stuff like that on the offense, whether it's inside or outside, or like I said, in the backfield. But on the next level, I do know that they want to use me as a slot to take advantage of those mismatches against linebackers and be able to find a zone, catch the ball, and get vertical. So.
So, kind of along those same lines, though, again, as a wide receiver, what is the one route that you love running for your quarterback?
Oh man, I'm a very fast guy, so I love to take the top off the defense. I love to take the top off the defense, but I do like to mix it up a little bit, run double moves to show that I have good footwork and stuff like that, and I can break on the dime. And yeah.
Sure. We'll get around to that more so here in a little bit. Do want to talk about Southern Utah and really a lot happening these days in college football as a whole lot of realignment happening. So this season was the inaugural year of the United Athletic Conference, where you guys ended up merging with the Atlantic Sun Conference, made a bigger group of opponents that you can face. So a lot happening, but still named a first team all conference this past year, which was great. Talk about your final year of college ball and really what you got out of it, man. I mean, talk about 2023.
Yeah, 2023 it was a blessing. It was something that I, always wanted in college. I always wanted a season like this. I always wanted to score 10 plus touchdowns. And I had the opportunity to do so because I was implemented into the offense a bit more than I was a year before. So, and, playing against all the other teams that, we combined with ASUN, it made it more challenging. So we played against a lot of different competition, which I felt was good because it allowed the scouts to see that I'm not just playing against, the same people I played against last year, but more opponents that are bigger, stronger. You know what I mean? Like BYU, UC Davis, Arizona State. So it was a nice season.
Oh gosh, man, you guys had a killer first few games
Oh yeah.
against those guys. I mean, again, these dominant programs that you faced there at the beginning. But I mean, I felt like you ended this season fairly well. You guys ended up with 4 straight wins, which was kind of nice. So you walked away at least with your final game being win, which is great. Um, How's next year going to look for the team, man? Talk to me a little bit about the guys that are left behind as guys like you are moving on.
Oh yeah. Well, we had a lot of people, young people last year, young guys that they're on the move up now. They're on the move up, and it looks pretty good. As far as wide receiver group, the linemen, on the defense, they added a couple key pieces to the defense as well. So it's going to be a nice season again. They're going to be able to carry that momentum that we had last year into this year, and I'm excited to see it. Coach Fitzgerald, he's doing a great job as well, bringing in the people that he's brought in. So it's going to look pretty good this year.
Cool, cool. So Isaiah, again, we talked about, you have a good quality resume. These past 2 years, you've really been able to get out and show people what you can do. And dude, that is truly, again, a very explosive wide receiver who could, be an outside receiver, be a slot receiver, and a great special teams player. Now, when you're out there on special teams, like, uh, talk me through maybe one of your favorite moments being a special teams guy, and then we'll shift to the offensive side of things.
Oh yeah, that would have to be 2022 when we played against my old school, Utah Tech. It was fun, that game. I didn't run one back, but it was so many of them that I was so close. But they always had that one guy that was back there. But that was probably my best game as a returner. I had about 4 returns for a high of 203 yards. So that night was magical. It was magical that night.
And what do you, when you're training as a returner, like, dude, is it just instinct, or I mean, is there something in particular that you look for when you're out there?
Definitely it's instinct, making the first guy miss, but also people don't understand it's about catching the ball first. So making sure that catch the ball secure, and then you can go ahead and, do what you have to do.
Yeah, dude, more often than not, obviously that's first and foremost. Um, I will tell you one thing too is make sure you don't celebrate too early either, man.
Oh yeah.
The one thing that I remember watching several years back is like Deshaun Jackson celebrating
Oh
early. Don't do that.
yeah. That
So,
don't do it at all. I remember it's crazy because when he did that, I was a kid and I had talked to him because he came out for a camp out here in San Diego, and I was
right.
like, "Hey," I said, "Hey man," he said, "Hey, maybe you learn."
No, well, definitely don't do that. But uh, talk to me about you as a wide receiver. What's been maybe the best memory of you as a wide receiver, like a particular game or play?
Oh man, one game that really sticks out to me has to be playing against SFA. Both times, that's always been a game that sticks out to me playing against that school, and especially
That's
this
cool.
past year. Yeah, yeah, they're really good, and we came into that game this year as like we have a vendetta against them. Like we have to beat them because they beat us last year. So that game right there, I had 5 catches for 4 touchdowns. So I've never done anything like that in my life.
That's just kind of being it's like almost a perfect game, you know. Like I
Yep.
remember, like years ago, like I think it was something like, uh, you know, Randy Moss had like 3 catches and 3 touchdowns for like 100 and some mad crazy yards, and it's like, what
Hmm.
else can you expect from a guy, you know, to just
Yep.
go out there and score each and every time he gets the ball? So,
Hmm.
great. And like you said, I mean, dude, you guys are playing against Stephen F. Austin, and in their own right, very good team. And so if you're able to, you know, really get out there and really showcase that you're better, it definitely feels good. So, uh, Isaiah, you put together everything, you know, in it ended on a good note. And then after your time there at Southern Utah, you went to the College Gridiron Showcase down in Fort Worth, Texas, and really shined. So go ahead and talk a little bit about your time down there.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. Got called from the people and they at CGS and they let me know that I was invited. Did everything that I had to do to get down there, and it was just fun seeing a lot of people from different colleges. The scouts out there. That was the first time that I really seen a lot of scouts come. So it was just like, oh, okay, now I could do what I love to do in front of a lot of people that it really matters to. And I did good there. Did one-on-ones and caught every ball, didn't miss a step.
Good, good. So assuming that might have been like the first time you actually met some of these scouts, maybe sat down, did some interviews. So how did those go?
Oh, those were amazing. The people that I had interviewed with, it's like as soon as I got there, they knew everything about me, and I've always heard that they know everything. So there's not anything that you can lie to them about or anything like that. So it was just like going into there, and they're like, "Hey, you went here, you went there." I was like, "Yeah." So okay, and then I felt way more comfortable because it's like somebody that actually knows you. So those interviews went very well.
Those guys do their homework, man. Like they know what you did when you were in second grade. So I mean,
Exactly.
that's the way that the NFL works, man.
Hmm.
They do those deep dives. So um, you ain't gotta show all your hand, but tell me at least a few of those teams that you've talked to.
Okay.
No, no, no. I'm just saying like actual teams.
Oh, actual teams. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you said show my hand. I was like,
No, no. I'm saying you understand the expression, like showing it all,
Yeah,
like everything you got. You know, like
yeah,
give us a few of
yeah.
those few names of those teams that.
Yeah, so I talked to Chicago, and I talked to Philadelphia. I also talked to, I believe there's a 49ers that were there. Talked to them, had some good conversations with them. Picked their brain a little bit. They picked my brain. I sat down, they tested my IQ, made sure that I was actually knowing what I was talking about. And, I did pretty good in that, showed them that I knew exactly what I was talking about and, that I was obsessed with the game and that I'm a player that, they would love on their team.
So I find it interesting. You know, again, we talked about Deshaun Jackson, who was there in Philly, but how would you feel about being the next Devin Hester?
Oh man, that'll be because that's a guy that I really watched his film so much as a kid growing up and till this day. Anytime Hester.
Dude, we're talking about a Hall of Famer now. Doesn't that sound
Hmm.
crazy?
It's Hey, I knew it would happen. Every time I watched his highlights, I was just like, I know one day this guy's going to be amongst the greatest because just the way that he attacked the game and the mindset that he had every time he stepped on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I believe a lot of people would say almost unanimously the best return specialist like ever. You were just kind of afraid you would just kick it away from him or something. So,
Exactly.
but yeah, maybe a few guys in that mix too, but he's definitely like up at the top for sure. So
Yeah.
glad he got his way into the Hall of Fame, which is nice. Um, so did great at the CGS, show that you can run with all these guys at these big schools, and then dude, you absolutely destroyed your pro day. Your pro day numbers are amongst the best in the country. And I just want to run through these real quick because I think these are awesome numbers. So some people may have different numbers, but even still, some of these are great. 4.3540. There are not too many guys that can run a 4.3540. And like, dude, your 10-yard split probably amongst the best in the country. Um, some people have that at 138, which is
Hmm.
just sick. We are talking again like a guy who can just like, really pop fast and have that quick jump off the line. 44.5-inch vertical, which to me is astounding. Like, I don't know what you can do. Maybe it's the basketball background. I don't know. But like, those are some serious hops for a guy who really isn't that big. This is
Oh yeah.
amazing, dude. I mean, how did you get to there? Like, how did that happen? Like, was that part of your training, or have you always been able to do these things?
Oh, I mean, I've always been able to do it, but training was a big part. Going down to Tampa, Florida with Cliff Brown and Athlete Innovations, they helped me out a lot, fine tune a lot of things, fine tune the, technique of the 40 and also just, strength in my legs and stuff like that, and just learning everything to a T. And that helped me out and it helped me to perform on that day.
Yeah, I mean, dude, also a 10.5 broad jump, a 6.9 three cone. You probably wanted a better three cone, but that's still not a bad number. I mean, and I'm assuming, dude, during that time you were also you know, making people do a double take, during your pro day because it's like, holy crap, look at what this guy can do. I mean, and I'm assuming since then, a lot of people are getting to know you, maybe getting some more calls, some of these Zoom interviews that a lot of people that are having. How's the time been since the pro day?
It's been a bit slow, but it's been starting to catch up a bit. My agent, he's been doing a great job of, keeping me in the loop and letting me know everything that's going on. And, also the teams that have been contacting me, they've been letting me know that they have interest, which is a good thing, and I'm just, I'm happy and blessed to be in this position because I can't say, there's not a lot of people that could say they are. So.
So, Isaiah, I want to be real for a second. There, it would be hard for me to pass on a guy with your speed. So much so that I might consider drafting you in the seventh round. You are a legitimate NFL draft pick right now. And I don't know if you've allowed your mind to kind of grasp that right now, but when you sit down and maybe perhaps reflect on that, like, how do you feel?
Oh man, it's crazy that you say that because last night I was just, sitting in bed and watching football highlights, and I just thought to myself, like, wow, in a couple months I'm gonna be right there, doing what I've been looking at for so long. And it's like it still hasn't, hit, but I'm pretty sure that day, I get the call and stuff like that. It's gonna be amazing.
Dude, when you put on that helmet and the NFL logo was on it, like you'll know and you'll feel it. But it's gonna happen here soon. I don't know if you're gonna get drafted, but if people don't draft you, they're gonna be sorry. That's
Yeah.
basically what we're gonna tell all these 32 teams, man. You are gonna get a shot with somebody somewhere. And dude, you're gonna make an impact there for sure. Maybe end up being like their starting return specialist or something like that. But it could certainly happen here very soon. Isaiah, I do want to take a brief moment to meet the guy under the helmet. So, tell me a little bit about yourself that maybe not everybody knows, interests, hobbies, if you got special talents other than the fact that you can fly. Anything that you want to share about yourself, man, go for it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a gamer. I love to play video games. I play Fortnite, Call of Duty. Those things are, things that I do whenever I have free time. I love to bowl. That's another thing that I love to do, to throw a curveball. Like all this world, people, my family hates it when they bowl against me because I throw a curveball and they're like, "You're cheating." And I'm like, "Hey, it's just practice. It's what I've been doing." I mean, hey.
If
So,
you don't know how to do it, it's on you. No, I hear you.
it's all you exactly.
Uh, cool. So, again, San Diego guy. So, I think a lot of people, when they think of San Diego, they think of this nice weather, great beaches, and all this other stuff where you can sit back and relax. What do you like doing in your spare time, man? You like hitting the water or what?
Oh man, I don't really go to the beach too much. Like I'll tell a lot of people that I'm so close to the beach, but I barely see it. But I just love hanging out, enjoying the sunshine, obviously, cool breeze, wind blowing a little bit, and just enjoying the time being at home. Good food, and just it's great vibes all in all.
Good food. What are you talking about here? Talk to me a little bit, man. What's
Oh
what's
yeah,
good?
so yeah, I
You like
like
the
eating
Mexican food or what?
Exactly. Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. I like eating the Mexican food out here. We have a place called Sombreros. It's very good. Great California burritos. You know, everybody comes to San Diego. They're like, "Oh, wait, I need to try Mexican food," and I'm like, "Hey, go to Sombreros or go to Tacos El Gordo, like one of the two. But you'll get some great food either one you go to."
Awesome, awesome. Let me see if I can pull out maybe one more question before we wrap things up. Um, you're in the locker room and you got your earbuds in and you're getting yourself right and ready for you to go out there on the field. What's your vibe, man? What are you listening to?
Oh man, healing chakras. I'm a big meditation guy. I have my chakras playing in my ears and just closing my eyes and just meditating and just envisioning the things that I see myself doing on the field. And I'm very big on that. Very big on getting my mind ready before the game, and that's exactly what's playing in my earphones.
Interesting. And let's see, maybe one more thing. Favorite breakfast cereal.
Oh wow, cinnamon toast crunch.
Hey, there you go. I wanted to do one more quick kind of fun one.
Yeah.
So, Isaiah, obviously want to wrap things up. A lot of things are working well for you right now. You've done everything that you've been asked to do to set yourself up for the pros here very soon. As we wrap things up, talk to all those scouts out there. Tell them why you need to be drafted, signed, and what you would bring to their team. Go ahead and close us with your pitch.
Oh yeah, well, definitely will be a great person, not just on the field, but off the field as well. Somebody that a lot of people could look up to. 24 years old, so I have, that type of experience of, leading people, a married man. I love my family, somebody that's gonna give you 110%, no matter what it is that you need done. And just excited and very, very just obsessed with playing football. You know what I mean? And just studying everything that you need to the T. So you're gonna get a great player out of me for years to come.
Well, again, like I said, Isaiah, you're going to make your way on a roster somewhere. Definitely someone to look forward to. Here very soon. In the pros. Want to wish you all the best. I know sometimes this can be nerve wracking, and you're probably going to be sitting waiting. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be watching the draft or not, or if you're going to go do whatever. But like, I hope these next few weeks for you are really what you've been dreaming about. All right.
Thank you.
Once again, I got with me Isaiah Wooden Sr. He is a wide receiver out of Southern Utah. Check him out. He can fly.